Good morning and welcome to the morning after. We have a great show ahead, so stick around.
Welcome back from spring break, everyone. Welcome to the morning after. So how was your spring break?
Oh my god, amazing. A much needed week off from schoolwork and everything.
Yes. It was like a nice mental break for a week. What did you do?
I road trip to California. Well, okay, I flew to California and then I road tripped the coast. So I flew into San Francisco and I drove down to LA.
That is really so exciting.
Yeah.
That's so fun. That's an interesting way to spend spring break.
Yeah. And actually, so Big Sur, which a lot of people like road trip down, has been closed this whole year for construction because they're gonna like redo one of the bridges or whatever. And so we're like, oh dang, like we're not gonna be able to see the coast. It was closed from Monterey to Santa Barbara. And just as the day we were leaving to like drive down, they opened it back up because like progress was like pushed back. Wow. I know, right?
Wonderful.
It was amazing.
That's good.
What did you do?
I went to Myrtle Beach. So that was fun. I wish it was like a little warmer, but it was really, really pretty. It was like nice up palm trees, and we avoided the big snowstorm up here. So like that in itself was just like a blessing. Yeah, I got a lot of like Snapchats and stuff from people back home being like shoveling their driveways and stuff, and I was like, oh, here I am sitting on the beach. It's a little windy, but it's not shoveling.
Did you road trip down to?
Yeah, we did two. It was a 14-hour ride like down, and then a couple days later, the 14 ride back. It wasn't that bad though. It went by really fast. It was when you get to like the middle of North Carolina kind of area. That's like very different than the Northeast. So that was like kind of interesting, but overall, and then obviously we were keeping up with everyone else. People were Snapchatting, Instagramming it where everyone else went. So I think some of the top places were Punta Cana. I think that was one of the top places. Miami. I know a lot of people went to Miami. Cancun. Bahamas, we have Shanna swam with a sea turtle, a wild sea turtle. We have a video of that down in the Bahamas, and she went with a couple people from Q30. So people were pretty
really
spread out.
Yeah, everyone was everywhere.
A lot of people had like the nice, like warm Instagram pictures of them in like the bathing suits and stuff.
I know. I have to say, no one really went like cold places. It was all warm.
I didn't see like a lot of skiing or anything. Sometimes there was that one person who goes like skiing or something. But I didn't see a lot of that, and I saw a lot of cruises too. A lot of people did the cruises.
Yeah,
those looked real relaxing. I was like relaxed looking at the
that
pictures.
Gave me like I was terrified of those.
Really?
Because I get very like seasick, so I was just like, oh my god. I was like, God bless them.
But it looks really break is fun. It's like it's nice in the middle. It's like nice in the middle of the semester versus Thanksgiving's too late in the semester. But we're gonna now toss it to Mike, who has a quick movie review for us.
Thanks, guys. I'm Mike. I just got out of the movie theater to see Kong Skull Island, and here is my fast reaction of the movie. Set in the backdrop of the Cold War, this movie follows scientist Bill Randa, played by John Goodman, as he goes to explore an uncharted island in the South Pacific. His team includes a military escort led by Colonel Pickard, played by Samuel L. Jackson, as well as survivalist James Comrade, played by Tom Hiddleston, and an anti-war photojournalist played by Brie Larson. Eventually, this group gets split up into two factions when King Kong retaliates against their scientific instruments, aka bombs, and eventually the factions take on two separate ideologies. One group, led by Colonel Pickard, is set to destroy King Kong at all costs, while the other group, led by Conrad and Hank Marlowe, played by John C. Reilly, look to save King Kong and get off the island as soon as possible. Overall, I thought the story was good and the characters very strong. You're able to understand their intentions upon the first few seconds of seeing them on screen. However, it would have been nice to see some of the characters fleshed out a little bit more, such as John Goodman's character, and maybe even John C. Reilly's character just a little bit more. One thing I did, however, enjoy was the imagery and symbolism that went into this film. One example being the dragonfly flying alongside the helicopters, symbolizing how helicopters are just as fragile as insects once they've entered this island. As far as the scare factor goes, it wasn't that scary per se. It's not going to keep me up at night, but it was very, very gory. And while there were some jump scares, you can kind of see them coming, and they didn't really throw me back in my seat too much. with that all being said, this movie was very exciting to watch. If you like big things, smashing into other big things is definitely the movie for you. Go check it out. I'd give it about a 7.3 out of 10. So, I'm Mike Delgado. This has been my review for Kong Skull Island. Back to you guys in the Piazza.
Thanks, Mike, for that movie review. Now just listen to the weather for this next week. So today's a high of 48 with sunny. Tomorrow is going to be a high of 52, but partially cloudy. Wednesday, we're going to have some sun with the high of 32, so break out those jackets. Thursday, sunny as well with the high of 37. Friday, we're going to have some clouds with a high of 45. Saturday is going to be warm with a high of 57. And Sunday, we're going to have some rain with a high of 39. So that's the weather for this week, but we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
All this and more.
Coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
Coming up, coming up, coming up.
Coming up on hashtag that.
We are your source for Could It Be X entertainment news.
Well, welcome back. So a lot happened in the past couple of days in the entertainment world while we were away. So number one, the biggest thing is the last night the Keeping Up with the Kardashians premiered the robbery episode. So the much anticipated episode where Kim finally discussed all the details of everything that happened back in Paris.
Yes, that happened last fall, and I think aside from hearing about all the news, I think everyone couldn't wait for this episode to see what her side of the story was, because we were in the fall, we were kind of getting like filtered statements from the family and friends and such like that, but now we finally get to see like, you know, her part and her explaining what happened when she was actually in the room.
And I think it was a smart move by the Kardashians, because obviously number one, you have a show, use your show as your platform. And then number two, she said in the beginning, she goes, why do people always ask why I didn't do an interview, why I didn't do something sooner? And she said, I wanted it to be from my point of view without the risk of someone twisting it or, you know, cutting something. I didn't, like, making it something it's not. So she said the best way to do it is just from her own perspective. And it was a very emotional episode. Like, normally the Kardashians, like, it's like, yes, it's a reality show, yes, it's light and fun, but this one was very heavy. You could tell, you could just see how concerned everyone was. You could tell kind of the effect it had on them. A lot of the members of the family were crying on camera, explaining kind of how it affected them and like how they found out and things like that. So I don't know. I just thought it was like a very heavy episode.
Yeah. As much as it's easy to not like the Kardashians and get sick of them, they are very smart people in how they lay out their episodes and they calculate everything. So
very calculated.
Yeah, this one was definitely a highly anticipated episode.
Exactly. And I think it was just, I don't know, I think it was nice how they did it. I think it was well done, and they did a lot of the footage kind of like in that filter that Kim had been using.
On her Instagram, yes.
And you saw a lot of her with her kids and things like that. So I think it was a good wake-up call for the family, and I honestly, you know, love or hate the Kardashians. This is a very horrible, scary thing to happen to anyone, and you would never wish it upon anyone. Yeah. So I think that is something that people can't take lightly and just like be like, oh, they're just doing it for ratings, because that's a horrible situation.
Like plan that at all.
Speaking of things that are a little less heavy and a little more exciting, Kate and William were in Paris this weekend.
I know, it's their first official visit to the city.
Exactly.
It's really exciting to watch, and it comes right after the video of Prince William doing a dad dance, as people have been calling it, at I believe it was a Swedish nightclub.
We looked up the video. It was amazing.
The funniest
10 out of 10 recommend.
Ever watch. It's just like him dancing alone in the corner of a club, like as a typical dad.
Funny.
It's
well, the way they like the way you read the video, like going in, they're like, oh, we have him in a club with like all these women. And it's like him in the corner dancing, and then in the other half, it's like all the people that you like, people just hanging out. And like, it's so funny though. It's just him dancing. I was like so into it.
But while they were there, they they visited with the attack. Was it the movie theater attack?
Yeah.
So they visited with some of the victims, which was good.
All right, and then the one last thing that happened, which actually happened over the weekend, was Kim D, who's an ex-Real Housewife of New Jersey. Her car, there were 2 people found murdered in the car that is allegedly connected to her name. They don't think she has any. They don't right now. They're not saying she's a suspect, but.
Yeah.
What is allegedly been saying is that she lent the car to her son, and the son lent the car to a friend. So 2 people were murdered in a car that was connected to her name. So that is just.
So we have to. That's gonna be.
Keep up with that one.
Yeah.
All right. So that's unfortunate. We go out to the victims. But we're now gonna toss it to John, who has some weird news for us.
Welcome back to school, everyone. Whether you spent spring break in Florida or in bed like me, the world went by as normal. That is to say, it went by abnormally. So, we're going to look back at the top 5 oddities to happen this past week. At number 5, a Riven has been given human rights. In New Zealand, the Whanganui River was granted legal rights as a person under law. A legal battle that began back in 1870, damage to the river is now punishable to the same degree as harming the local tribesmen. At number 4, a Japanese company was recently set up to allow people to rent loved ones. For a standard fee of $70, the company Family Romance lets you rent people to attend events with you. They provide options for friends, spouses, loved ones, parents, and children for events such as birthdays, weddings, trips to Disney, or nights out at the bar. At number 3, an umpire was arrested for public intoxication after officiating an entire junior high baseball game. Derek Bryant of Princeville, Alabama, had police called on him by the coaches of both Princeville Junior High and East Limestone after they claimed to smell alcohol on his breath. He was not taken in until the game had finished, with East Limestone winning 10-2. Number 2 takes us to Florida, where a 5-foot shark was found in a Walmart shopping cart. St. Augustine authorities were baffled by a dead shark in the disposal from a shopping cart in the parking lot. The discovery was preceding another shark body found in a Villano Beach driveway several days later. How either shark got there is still unknown. And at number 1, 12,000 people on their driver's licenses became giants overnight, at least on the driver's licenses. A conversion error in the Denver DMV's computer caused inches to be recorded as feet when printing the licenses. The licenses are all still valid and can be replaced for the correct height at no charge.
You can close it out too.
That's all from me this week. Back to Steph and Kelly.
All right, welcome back. So Shanna's here to teach me and Steph a little something about March Madness.
Another sports thing. What a surprise.
All right, so earlier I asked them if they knew, and they were a little bit even hesitant on whether they were confident on what sport it is. Come on, what sport is it?
I know it's basketball.
You knew.
I guessed basketball, but it was a 90% sure kind of guess.
All right, so what level is it? What level of?
Do you want me to go or do you want me to
You
go?
go because you know the
'Cause
answer.
she has
I wasn't
no idea.
Sure.
It's college.
Yes.
I wasn't sure.
So
could
college,
be college, could be professional.
College basketball.
College basketball.
NCAA.
Is it just Division I though?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so what is a bracket?
It's what people make to bet on.
It's a bracket
Okay,
of
so
like how
here's
you
an
know who's gonna
here's
win.
an example of a bracket.
Oh.
So essentially what happens is teams go up against each other, and then whoever moves on plays the winner of the next little bracket. Okay. So then eventually it gets less and less and less teams until you got
And they're broken up by
I feel
region.
like I do know this.
Yes. So I made a visual, or I printed out a visual for them. So that's the visual. Study that, learn it, know it. I expect next year you're all March Madness experts.
Can't wait.
Now, what is an upset?
When someone loses and you put them on your bracket and you want them to win.
That's
you're
when
sad.
you're upset, yeah. So an upset is if a better team loses to a worse ranked team.
Okay.
Okay? So what is the better seed? So what is considered the better team? The 1 seed or the 16 seed?
The one.
One seed.
Yes.
Because you're number one.
Because you're number one, exactly. So if a 16 seed beats something, a lot lower, that would be an upset.
Okay.
Okay. So do you think Duke or Kentucky will be in the Final Four?
Duke, because I remember.
Duke just lost last night. It was an
no.
upset.
I was going to say Kentucky.
All right, one last question. What is the Sweet 16? Is it a birthday party, a show on MTV, or the final 16 teams remaining in the NCAA March Madness tournament?
It's all three.
It's all of the above.
I missed my Super Sweet 16.
All right, thank you so much for tuning in for our short little episode. But make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow Q30 Entertainment, and make sure you check out more content at q30television.com. Have a great week, everyone.